All right, deep divers, welcome back. And for those of you just joining us for the first time, get ready to, to dive deep into some really interesting topics. With that said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future deep dives. Now, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to be looking at a government press release that caught my eye, all about India's efforts to make education accessible for everyone. It's specifically about a new Indian Sign Language television channel that just launched. And for all of you out there studying for those big government exams, this is definitely something to pay attention to.
Absolutely. This aligns perfectly with those themes of social inclusion and using technology for development. The kind of topics that are bound to come up on those exams.
Right. Okay, so this new ISL channel isn't just some random thing. It's part of this larger e-Vidya initiative. Can you give us a little background on what that's all about?
Sure. So PM e-Vidya was launched back in 2020 as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. It's essentially a multi-pronged approach to leveraging technology for education. Think of it as a big umbrella program.
I see, with a bunch of different components, all aimed at making education accessible to everyone in India.
And that became especially crucial during the pandemic, right?
Exactly. Suddenly, everyone had to figure out how to learn from home, and PME Vidya really stepped up to meet that challenge.
So it's not just about online classes, though, right?
No, not at all. PME Vidya utilizes a whole range of tools and platforms. There's direct-to-home television or DTH radio broadcasts for those in areas with limited internet access, and even virtual labs, so students can still get that hands-on experience even if they can't physically be in a lab.
So it's about making sure no one gets left behind, regardless of their circumstances or location.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the ISL channel you mentioned, the World Health Organization estimates that 63 million people in India have significant hearing impairments. That's a huge number of individuals who might face barriers to education.
Wow.
And this new ISL channel is directly addressing that need. It's providing educational content in sign language, making it accessible to a whole new audience. It's available on Channel 31, and it's not just for students either.
Oh. It's for educators, parents, anyone who's involved in the education of hearing impaired individuals.
And this isn't just some isolated project. This is directly tied to the National Education Policy of 2020. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The NEP 2020 specifically calls for the promotion and standardization of Indian Sign Language. This channel is a concrete step towards achieving those goals.
Showing that they're really serious about making education truly inclusive.
Exactly. It's a major step towards recognizing ISL as an official language.
And I found it really interesting that they're also working on translating textbooks into ISL.
That's huge. Think about it from the perspective of a hearing impaired student. For the first time, they'll be able to access those core educational materials in their native language. It's a game changer in terms of equity and accessibility.
It's about creating a level playing field and giving every student the opportunity to thrive.
Exactly. And it's not just happening within India either. PME Vidya has received international recognition for its impact.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I read about that. They were recognized by UNESCO, weren't they?
Yes. In 2022, the Central Institute of Educational Technology, which is part of the NCERT, was awarded the UNESCO King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa Prize.
What a mouthful.
I know, right? But it's a prestigious award that recognizes the use of technology to enhance learning and teaching. And it just goes to show that the world is taking notice of India's efforts in this area.
It's pretty inspiring to see them really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in education.
It is. And I think what's particularly exciting is that it's not just about providing content, it's about shifting mindsets.
Right. It's about recognizing that everyone deserves the chance to learn and grow regardless of their abilities.
And that investing in inclusive education is not just the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do. It benefits everyone in the long run.
Precisely. So for all you deep divers out there, especially those prepping for government exams, take note. This initiative is a perfect example of what India is striving for. It's a story of innovation, inclusion, and a commitment to creating a brighter future for all. And speaking of innovation and education, I'm curious to hear from all of you. What are some other cool education initiatives you've come across? Whether it's here in India or somewhere else in the world, share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic, so stay tuned. That kind of global recognition really puts things into perspective. especially when you consider how massive of an undertaking PM e-Vidya really is.
Oh, absolutely. It's huge. And I'm sure there are going to be challenges along the way, things like reaching those in remote areas with limited internet access,
Yeah,
ensuring there are enough qualified ISL teachers to meet the growing demand, and even just spreading awareness about all these amazing resources.
right.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what the initial response has been like so far.
Yeah, well, it's still early days. But the press release did highlight that the ISL Research and Training Center, or ISL-RTC as it's known,
Mhm.
is actively working with the National Council of Educational Research and Training, better known as NSERT, to translate textbooks into ISL,
Oh, wow.
which is a huge task in itself.
Yeah,
But it shows that they're really committed to making this a long-term solution. It's not just about having a channel, it's about making sure the content is accessible and relevant for years to come.
absolutely. So for our listeners who are preparing for those government exams, what would you say are the key takeaways from all of this?
Well, I think there are a few important things to keep in mind. First, PM e-Vidya is a major government initiative focused on using technology to make education accessible for everyone. And it aligns perfectly with the government's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or a self-reliant India.
Right.
Second, the launch of this dedicated ISL channel is a huge step towards inclusive education, and it's directly in line with the goals outlined in the National Education Policy of 2020. And finally, India is being recognized on a global level for its efforts in this area, even winning an award from UNESCO, so it's definitely something worth knowing about.
That's a pretty impressive track record. It sounds like PM e-Vidya and this new ISL channel are prime examples of the kind of initiatives they look for in those exams.
Oh, absolutely. They demonstrate a commitment to social inclusion, innovation, and using technology to solve real-world problems.
Mm.
These are all themes that are likely to be front and center in those government exams.
It's really inspiring to see India pushing the boundaries like this and, making these strides in education.
It really is. And it's not just about, providing the content. It's about changing mindsets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Like recognizing that everyone deserves a chance to learn no matter what their abilities are.
And that investing in inclusive education, it's not just the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, it benefits everyone in the long run.
Exactly. So for all you deep divers out there, keep this initiative in mind, especially those of you who are preparing for those government exams. This is a prime example of the direction India is moving in.
The great story of innovation and inclusion, and really a commitment to a brighter future for everyone. And hey, while we're on the topic of education, I'd love to hear from all of you. What are some other innovative education initiatives that you've come across? Maybe something here in India or even from another part of the world. Share your thoughts down in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future deep dives. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic. So until then, stay curious.